Hey everyone, happy Monday. Welcome to the Monday Minutes, something for you to think about as you're writing your content this week. My name's Beth Knaus, and I am the owner of That's a Spade Copywriting Services. And I spoke in a group the other day. They were having a business retreat, and somebody asked me about writing controversial copy. So the first thing I want to say about that is, think about what you mean when you say controversial, right? Are you really putting something out there that's so extreme that it's going to cause all this controversy? Or is it just maybe not the same as what your competitors are saying? Or maybe it's a way that you present your perspective that's refreshing, right? We have a tendency to right away think about something controversial as being bad. And that's not always the case, right? Because controversial really means that you're saying something that's not the status quo or not the perspective we're used to on a particular topic. So my approach with that is to present questions to people, right? Is to I think when people think of controversy, it's because they're not standing in the other person's shoes. So if you could just try to imagine yourself in the other person's shoes, right? And how they feel and why they feel that what you're saying might be controversial or edgy, right? So, the way to start is really with questions about what would you think if X, Y, and Z? Or, just to show it from the opposite way and ask, right? You're just placing it there and you're giving them something to think about, right? You're creating something thought-provoking and giving them the opportunity to think about it and give you an answer. The other thing is to always keep in mind that we want to say something and our audience probably needs to hear it, but it's about how they need to hear it. So again, you're going to step in the other person's shoes and think about, well, if somebody was going to say this thing to me that might make me react or feel defensive, what makes me feel defensive about it? And can I soften that in the way I deliver my controversial statement or idea? Now, you can do these things, and no matter how precautionary you are, you're probably going to get a few people who might respond reactively or defensively or just really kind of blow up. So first, you have to decide that if you're putting something controversial out there, you are probably going to make some people squirm in their seats a little bit and feel a little uncomfortable, which is the point really of breaching something controversial. If you're aware of the outcome that you want, right? If you're saying something controversial, you want to think about what's the purpose. Is your purpose because you want someone to see it from a different view because you know they need that? Or is it just because you're stirring the pot? Because if you're just stirring the pot, this really isn't the best playground, right? So if you want it to be something that, affects people, then they go, oh, maybe this is something that I need. You have to be ready for their initial reaction to be like, what the heck is that, right? And to maybe come at you a little bit. So it's not personal, right? Well, it's personal to them, but it's not personal at you necessarily because you're triggering something for those people. And what I say is there's two things, right? Either you're poking a wound, right? You're kind of poking the bear, and they're reacting that way because what you're saying is something they really need to hear, which is why you want to give that the gentlest and most open approach possible. Or the other thing is true. They don't want to hear it, and it's not meant for them, and they're not your client. Then you want them to get out of the way, right? Because why would you spend your time, right, talking and talking again to people who aren't your clients? We want to talk to our people. So that's okay. It's okay for people to react. If you just say, you know what, I'm really sorry you feel that way. Let's agree to disagree and, cut it short. If people keep going at you or you feel like you're dealing with trolls who are just trying to cause trouble, block them, delete them, block them. You don't need them. If that's all they're doing is showing up and being negative about what you're saying, if you know that you're saying it in a way that's appropriate and respectful and you're just trying to deliver something that maybe is against the norm, then just block those people. You don't need them, right? So think about what type of controversy you're writing about. Think about the best way to deliver it and be prepared to handle any feedback in the best way possible, even if the last resort is to block somebody. So that's my advice for you today. And if you have any questions about it, let me know. I'm also really open to hear about any topics that you might like to hear in these Monday Minutes, something that you need some thought leadership on around your content. And if you leave me a message in the social media post where you see this, I'd be happy to address those things that you'd like to hear me talk about. So I hope everybody has a great week, and I will see you next Monday. Thanks again.